All right, let's get to it. We've got Ayyubids versus Byzantines on a polarizing map. This player right here is Corvinus playing as the Byzantines. Corvinus is the player we cast the most of on forts, because I'm pretty sure at this stage, everyone else has vetoed forts. He's like one of very few known players left that don't have it blocked. So when I saw that he was playing a bunch of games, he actually had like 5 games almost in a row on forts. I was like, okay, we got to check this out. Let's check out the most recent one. Byzantines versus Ayyubids is a pretty fun one as well right now, because these are the two of the civs that I think people struggle the most to deal with. The other one I'd say is English. Rus is like kind of a bag that you've just accepted whatever it is, and I think outside of Conk rank, the execution of Rus isn't clean per se. But Ayyubids and Byzantines, because they're new especially, and same with actually a lot of the other things happening like the English build, people want these problems solved. This is a very interesting matchup, because I actually think that before the Byzantine changes to their mercenary timings, Ayyubids just won flat out. It was so easy peasy. But now, ever since the buffs to Byzantines, with the fact they don't have to waste olive oil and the contract unlock, with the fact they get that contract so quickly, I actually think this is hard in favor of purple. And I do apologize in advance. I just glanced at the screen and realized that it's purple on pink. There's definitely going to be some sort of colorblind comment. I can already sense it coming. But this is part one of why I really like Byzantines. The military wing reinforcement feels like a losing play, but it's because you want growth wing so badly. I actually think that logistics makes more sense for the Ayyubids now. Because the problem, especially on this map, is like going military wing reinforcement, how are you ever getting on this little island? Like, exactly, this is all that Corvinus needs to do. Build one outpost and middle finger it. He doesn't even realistically need to come out, but if he does, he just gets javelins. And now, because there's single outpost, you can't stop him getting javelins. Folks, javelins make the world go around here, because you just jav spam, and they keep their value when you go into Castle Age against archers. You can potentially play longbows. I actually quite highly rate longbows as well. It just doesn't feel like it's got as much of a value follow-up, because if you go for the javelin contract, and then when you tech castle, you go camel riders, you basically have every counter to everything that an Ayyubid player is going to do out of your mercenaries alone, which is wild. Stable's opening though. This is the appropriate way to begin this, usually on a map where things are more exposed. I think actually if Corvinus just gathers enough for an outpost on the gold, he doesn't really need to engage with this at all. It is going to be the double Desert Raider build. So I quite like this build on maps where your opponent is going to be present, but I just think that this is poorly informed. Like right now, Pink has scouted this. He should immediately cancel that Desert Raider. The Desert Raider now has no value. I'd argue that the second Desert Raider had no value to begin with. I'm not really sold on why he's going Desert Raider over 2 Horsemen. 2 Horsemen cost 60 resources more, but has a lot more value, right? Whereas this just gets countered by archers, or rather the jabs. And now, with the outpost on the olive oil, you can't stop those javelins from coming out. So, like, wait. Wait, is this Dragovan Smurf? Oh my, what? He's doing a camel-only strat. Like, what? At this point, your brain is asking the question, is this good? I'm glad I could dissect that for you. It's very different. I'll give you that. And apologies, Dragovan, you don't have a Smurf. What I'm saying, though, is he's doing the camel-only strat. We have actually got Horsemen coming as well, but this is wild. That is even wilder. What? I can... Okay, so if I take my hand right now and stick it in a salami slicer and lose all of my fingers and thumbs, I can count on my hands the amount of reasons why you go Keshiks against camels here. It doesn't make any sense. Ram's going to move in. That's the one upside, I guess, right? Like, the Keshik's going to attack the Ram, so maybe that's his thought process, but, like, you could do that with Limitane. And the Javelins would mean that the Desert Raiders can't poke you at all, right? So, yeah, this is a very weird build. I feel like the only reason it works is because this is just completely off the reservation. Weird, right? There isn't much sanity behind what Pink is doing. Especially now with Limitane also arriving. At least the Desert Raiders can pepper this down. But the Keshik count's going to go up to 4 soon, right? And with just a handful of Limitane, you better push this away. The Scout not get sniped either. That's actually a really big deal. Means you can't even hide any of what you're doing. To be honest, you weren't going to be able to hide it anyway, right? Like, it's outposts plus border settlements houses. This is another thing on the long list that makes Byzantines absurd. There's no other civ that gets this much vision so freely, right? Like, at least when you're up against the Rus, it's like, oh, man, I can push this Scout away. You have to kill a 750 HP building this early on in the game. That's a pretty big investment. But no more investments coming into the Ayyubid forces. Looks like he has actually stopped at the 4 Desert Raiders. I think you could have stopped at 1. And we are now prepping for the Gillim spam. Now, all of a sudden, Corvinus's choice is actually good. Because Keshik's actually handled Gillims quite well. So it's very important actually you snipe these guys down as much as possible. A little bit surprised actually that he's not sticking the full health ones into melee mode and turning around. Like, yeah, this is what he should have been doing. Unfortunately, he was too late and Corvinus just out-microed him. If you toggle your into melee form and the distance is big enough, these Keshiks insta-die to the camels. It's trivial how easy it is. Remember, you do 26 damage per strike, and they get reduced down to 12 damage per strike. And you attack quicker. Oh, sorry, same speed, right? Yeah, camel riders are quicker. So chase across the base. Behind this, Corvinus isn't slowing down. Oh my, he's sending it. You remember when Byzantines were considered garbage? I don't feel like Biz were necessarily garbage. The early game was just questionable. They required a little bit of complacency before the update. But the mid and late game were always absurd. Their production rates have always been absurd. Like, that's the thing that I think people sleep on is, you know, if you could get past Feudal Age, they were still an insane civ. Nothing really changed around that. The only thing that changed is the Merc timing. That's, well, the eco increase helped for sure. Don't get me wrong, I'm not discrediting that. But I think this civ was always threatening as you reach Castle Imp. It's just right now they don't really have any negative. Like, I don't think there's a point in the game outside of Dark Age where they're weak. And what can you do in Dark Age anymore, right? Like, I think Dark Age, we're borderline at the point with Dark Age where you could just remove it from the game and no one would miss it and it wouldn't really change anything, right? Because I feel like the one civ that cared about Dark Age was the Mongols. Have you noticed how Mongol players have stopped doing outpost rushes? It's almost like that nerf to their stone was intended to stop outpost rushes. Ergo, get rid of any value in Dark Age. Wrap around the backside here is Bold coming out from purple. But Corvinus is just trying to deny the gold. I don't feel like that's worth it here. Growth... Wait, what? I was about to say Growth Wing's on the way. No. Alright, caller. Go next. This game's over. I'm not even going to do it the justice of analyzing it. Wait, is this that guy? Oh my god, it's that guy. It's the Tower of the Sultan guy. It's the Industry Wing Castle Age guy. Well, this changes everything. I mean, if you wanted to build a Tower Sultan anyway, why even build the Ram and the Feudal Age? Just wait. Yeah, this is where you wish you had the Growth Wing villages, right? Last of the dive's going to be cleared up. But I mean, if I'm Corv right now, I'm looking at the fact that no extra villages came out, and I'm seeing that little sign, and my brain's like, I never see that sign, which means he chose a really bad wing choice. I know it's Eco Wing because of the location, but I can't remember what that sign meant. But I haven't seen villages, so there's only one thing he's done. And it looks like it's going to be the Manjaniques. I think this is the guy, by the way, that done the Tower of the Sultan builds. Do you guys remember? I think it's actually up on my channel. I think it says like a broken new build. It was on Himeyama. I can't remember his opponent. It was actually a decent player. And what he done is he basically just marched an army over and double built Tower of the Sultan next to the enemy base. He could have been housed. I mean, I feel like counting isn't that hard, right? I think you saw all the houses with that dive. Also, you see the sign, right? The sign is unique. That's the industry wing sign. No doubt about it. He has to know. He has to know by the fact he doesn't know the sign, right? Like, everyone knows the growth sign by now. And you look at that, you're like, huh? Rogan? So now we've just basically got Pink playing discount Chinese. Spearman and Siege. Now, if I was a betting man, I would wager that a Byzantine player is now going to rush Castle Age and build Varangian. That might pose a problem for the Ayyubid player. Even if he gets Gulems. You didn't know about the signs on the wings? Look at you, an ethical Abbasid picker instead of Ayyubids. Then again, are you that ethical now when Abbasids can beat Ayyubids? The fact that he's getting Bloomer is a bit surprising to me. I mean, you know, up to your damage output, I guess. Doesn't really feel necessary here. If I was Corvinus, I would kind of be chuckling at this point. This is a very, very weird Ayyubid build. It's not mass Gulems. It's not mass Camel Lancers. It's Manjaniques. I tried to do mass and Manjaniques together, I'm sorry, with a sprinkling of Gulems. And, oh no. No, not like this. No, really not like this. Oh my god, he barely keeps it alive. Here comes the Limitane. Well, there goes, what, a third of your value of the tech up? Sorry, almost half your value, right? It's 400 wood. I can't believe what I'm seeing. He's not even going castle. Corvinus has just seen this. He's like, wait, I can fight that. He's actually queuing up a full Feudal Age army. Oh my god. And here it comes! We are not worthy! Tower of the Sultan is on the way. This is really bad against Limitane, right? Because they tank so much damage. No. Yeah, I mean, that's so bad. I think if Corvinus just went Castle Age, this would be really bad. Because then you just run in with Keshiks and Varangian, right? And you club it down. God. One day, this man can say that he was ahead of the meta. You know that guy? Do you ever realize that? This guy is just years ahead of us, okay? Years down the line when Tower the Sultan gets buffed, he can boldly tell his kids, I remember all those years ago. I'm not going to try an old man Asian accent. When I done this strategy before it got buffed. And I won, damn it. Whatever, Grandpa. No one believes him. Mango should also fit in the tower. Could you imagine? Just like an emplacement on the top. I mean, we let Byzantines have a Mango in a tower. I feel like this isn't a stretch. Flash coming in. Desert Raid is not great for frontlining this. And immediately it's a, I regret this, can I please leave? You can leave the game. I think you're going to be forced to soon. Gulems are cool, but when they're outnumbered like this, they don't feel great. He's just going to hide inside. Now, in fairness, that has increased his movement speed. I just don't think it's increased it enough. When is this getting buffed? Like, I feel like it looks so dumb that in theory, it getting buffed would be a mistake. But at the same time, it's so bad. Villagers being sacrificed. It's now 15 worker kills compared to 0. I mean, this game is basically over. Corvinus is just having fun at this stage. All he needs to do is tech up and then spam Varangian. That's GG. Still got food to the south side. And also his opponent... Wait, okay, so now you go Camel Lancers. Several minutes into the Castle Age, you go Camel Lancers against Limitane. God damn this game. So, memes aside, how could Pink have made this work? Step 1 is, I really don't understand what that Desert Raider Ram play was about. The moment you scout the outpost, you don't do that. That's step 1. You'd already dropped the stables, cancel the Desert Raider, wait until Castle build Camel Lancers. And that's how you approach this. You know how Pink had to come out of his base because he ran out of food? Purple was going to be similar. right? Like, Corvinus can try all he likes to just go olive groves, but he's going to need extra food. That's what you're waiting for with Camel Lancers. And in the meantime, for the love of God, pick up relics. We've been in castle for a few minutes now, and Ping has been posturing the center, but you may be noticing there are no relics gathered. It's very likely now that Corvinus is going to get more relics than the Ayyubids, despite the fact that he waited several minutes to go castle. It's okay, guys. It'll be there soon. Yo, do you want me to really tilt all of you? I have this little trick. Have you ever tried using follow camera on a Tower of Sultan? Oh, you're so lucky. Oh. How annoying is that shake? Okay. We'll follow this one. There's a second one coming. Now, funnily enough, if Corvinus just drops the Siege Workshop, this really doesn't work. I don't think Corv went for one, though. It's okay. Watch this outpost almost die in one hit. 600 damage rams do sound quite threatening. So double Tower of the Sultan. He's genuinely just going to Varangian Berserker to death. He could have actually just done Springles. It could have made sense, but let's be totally real. If you got a Viking, you got a Viking. Don't worry, guys. He can one-hit these grow. Oh, he's just going for landmarks. He's actually going to try to landmarks, though. Please don't. This probably is one of the highest value points for Presidium I've ever seen. But who needs that when you can just Conscriptio? Frankie moving in. Double Tower of the Sultan. Wailing on the enemy here. Unfortunately, with the +2 ranged armor, the Vikings aren't dying quickly. He's got villagers in the enemy base repairing. This is a whole new level of clown cars. Usually it's archers, but he needs repairs. Okay, I don't know why I'm saying that. I do know why, because it's kind of cool. Actually, villagers inside a Tower of the Sultan to repair isn't the worst idea I've ever heard. It's still bad because it's Tower of the Sultan, but if you think about it as a clown car effect, this is a mobile outpost you can rush repair. The downside right now is that he has half of his economy inside that thing. There's no way Corvus dies to this. Like, it's an all-in. He's pulled everything. And the village repair. The problem right now is he doesn't have anyone gathering wood. So once he wastes this 100, they're gonna die. It makes me sad because I actually think maybe if he kept some economy at home, this could have worked. Unfortunately, there's no denying it now. This is over. He's ran out of wood. He won't be able to kill enough economy. Torches are out. The Tower of the Sultan is going down. And you know what they say. When it goes down, it's time to go to sleep. Don't read into that too much.